Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 8 of the October daily draws. So let's see what kind of message we're going to get today. And I'll be taking the first card from the Deviant Moon Tarot deck, and just giving it a last minute shuffle, and then we'll follow it with a card from the Halloween Oracle deck. So let's choose our first card and get today's reading underway. Okay, so here we go. So today we will go there. And our card for today is, oh, it's the Devil. Very recognizable. Straight away, it's the Devil. So what choices are we making? Are we walking in our authority, or are we the ones in control, or we're letting situations and events and other people pull our strings and make decisions for us that maybe we should be making? Or we taking control and using our own, empowering ourselves to make our own decisions, to break free of any chains that bind us, realizing that we have the power to embrace our own freedom, and that quite often the sense of being bound and chained to something is merely illusionary and in our own minds, and it's only by the permission that we give it that these situations have an influence and effect upon our lives, because we allow them to, that we are passive in our acceptance of them, and we don't act or think or speak contrary to them. Whereas if we did, we would begin to embrace and walk into our own freedom, and become who and to be who we were meant to be and who we can be, and not to let situations and people and our own thoughts bind us to things that are not good for us, that hold us back, that prevent us from reaching our goals. So as we continue through this week, just maybe we need to consider, are we in control? Are we letting situations and other people pull our strings? Or, are we the ones in the driving seat? Are we going to remain in a devil situation? Or are we going to be more like the chariot, where we're steering our own path and forging ahead with success and victory over circumstances, and even over ourselves, that negative part of ourselves that would hold us back? Are we going to let that take the major influence in our lives, or are we going to be the ones in charge? So I think it's basically asking us today is who is influencing your life? What are you letting influence in your life? Is it too much other people, too much events around you, too much your circumstance, or are you going to allow your true self to be free? Are you going to walk in the power that you truly have, but perhaps you need more confidence to embrace? So it's are we going to be in the devil situation, or perhaps in the chariot situation? To me, those and let's see if I can find the chariot very quickly, although it's a bit different in this deck, but we know what the chariot looks like, and it's who's exerting control over, or what's exerting control over how you're living your life. Is it other people? Is it situations? Is it even negativity within yourself? Or are you going to go out under your own steam, forge your own way forward, You know, the steam coming out there is more of a mechanized chariot within himself, and that's the point, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't even need the horses that we normally get, or or the sphinxes that we normally get. You know, he can go under his own steam. He doesn't need any other influence. He's not letting anything else. He's going literally under his own power, under his own energy. So, you know, are we going to be this, or are we more going to be that? That's the choice before us today, and it's like the chariot's coming in there to overcome that devil situation and to block that out, so that we can then move forward successfully. So let's see what oracle card we get with that. So we will go and here we have it's a skull. Well, it's a skull card, but not one of the actual proper skull cards, but it's a card with a skull in it. It's called the Underworld, where all things pause and begin again. So this is this is in a sense a very good time of year for the Underworld. It's letting that shadowy part of ourselves die away, or that it's letting that negative influence die away, so that we can grow that newness of life. I think this is the pomegranate, which represents, I think, fertility and growth. So that growth will come by overcoming those shadowy, or dealing with that devil aspect of our nature, of our situation, and you know, take a pause. If you feel that you're in this devil situation, take a pause. Take the take the necessary action to overcome this and to deal with this situation, so that you can be more the chariot. And so take that pause so that you can begin again as a chariot and move on more effectively in your life. You know, so deal with those underlying issues that maybe belong, you know, in the underworld. Let pause the situation, take the action, and then begin again. So, and that's I think that's the message of this card, is that, you know, whatever the situation, whatever mistakes you've made, you know, take a pause, realize, learn the lessons, and then start again. You know, it's not how many times you stumble or fall, it's how many times you get back up and start again. That's the key thing here. You know, when you failed in something, it doesn't make you a failure. You know, it's just to fail is something that you do. It's not something that you are. Right? You are not a failure. You just failed, or you didn't. And by fail, I mean you didn't meet the situation, that you didn't quite succeed in reaching what you wanted to achieve, or, you know, and make sure that what the sense of failure that you have is legitimate, in the sense that, was what you were expecting that you didn't reach actually fair for you as well? You know, was it fair to expect that you would reach that? Because sometimes you can have unfair and, you know, expectations placed upon you, or you can place on yourself, and then you end up failing to reach that, and that gives you a sense of failure. But maybe you were expecting too much of yourself at once. But whatever the situation, whatever the cause, a failure is just when you fail at something, you've just succeeded in finding yet another way not to do something. So actually, you can turn that failure into success, and you just pause, learn the lesson, and move on, carry on, and don't be bound to that sense of failure that the devil situation would hold you in. Take control, learn the lessons, and move on with the chariot, and just carry on. And so we have those choices how we're going to respond to our thoughts, to situations. There's different ways. So the choice is ours, is basically what the cards are saying So what are we going to choose today? Okay, so I'll be back tomorrow to do day 9. Until then, make the right choices. Don't be bound by the devil situation. Be the chariot, be your own chariot, and forge your own way forward and your own success. Okay, so thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Tomorrow, in fact. Okay, bye-bye.